The brand new Marvel Studios live-action Halloween special, Werewolf by Night, has officially hit Disney+. Is it worth your time? Stick around to find out. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Werewolf by Night. Directed and composed by Giacchino, Werewolf by Night is a 52-minute Halloween special that Marvel Studios released, starring people like Gael, García, Bernal, Donnelly, Harriet, Sansom, and many others, and takes us into a Universal horror monster Hammer film type of Marvel Studios project. Hey guys, what's going on? If you've seen the trailers for this, then you know that this is essentially a love letter to old monster movies. And if you guys have been watching the channel, I've covered quite a few of those old black and white films from the Universal horror monster era, as well as things like the Hammer films. And I plan to cover way more of them here on the channel. Those were films I loved growing up as a kid. I've always been a big fan of that era of horror, and I've always just been a big fan of just enjoying films like that as a kid. I used to watch a lot of them with my mom, sometimes with my grandpa, and as I started getting older, I started seeking a lot of them out myself as I became a big fan of channels like Cinemassacre, where they cover tons of old black and white horror films. And so going into this movie, I was really excited because I do have a lot of history with the genre, and so it was great to see a movie like this, or a special like this, that comes in just a little bit under an hour, that takes essentially the base look and feel and vibe and tone and dramatics of those older films, but is able to blend it with modern day cinema, specifically the modern day feel and vibe of a Marvel Studios project. And yeah, this is actually directed by Giacchino, who's well known for doing musical scores for so many incredible things and tons of things with Marvel. He also composes the music here as well. He's composed the music for things like the Doctor Strange films, and even things that I grew up enjoying, like Lost back in the day. He's got a huge filmography of things that he's worked on in terms of his music, and he's an incredibly talented filmmaker as well. And yeah, I've never seen anything that he's actually directed, so to be able to see this, I thought was really cool. And obviously he's been in the world of filmmaking for quite some time now, and so he's got, you know, a good head on his shoulders in terms of how to tell an exciting and interesting story. And one of the things that excited me the most about seeing how this was going to play out was just the fact that it was going to be something that kind of was an homage to old school films. And I like that this had a really nice seamless blend. You know, it was black and white, and it wasn't a black and white film just for the sake of making a black and white film to say, hey look, it's an old school film. There was an attention to detail in the set and the locations and the costume design and everything like that, to definitely give it an old school look and feel, while also having its toes dipped into a more high-tech modern era with a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff. And yeah, seeing the trailers, one of the things that excited me the most, that people were getting excited about, was the reveal of Man-Thing for the first time in the MCU, who's a character I've always really enjoyed. I've always enjoyed the look of the character, and yeah, we finally get to see him here in live action in the MCU. We did get that live action movie in the early 2000s, but we don't talk about that, even though I probably at some point will talk about it here on the channel. Yeah, overall, this is a shorter film. Like I said, it's a little bit under an hour, so there isn't a whole lot to say without getting into spoilers. But the base premise of this essentially is you have a group of monster hunters that are all convening for this ritual to gain access to this thing called the Bloodstone. And yeah, they're going to be set free to take out this monster that's going to have this Bloodstone attached to the back of it. And whoever is able to kill this monster ends up getting the Bloodstone. I won't say much more, but yeah, that's the base premise of the film, and it was cool. It was a monster hunting film with some MCU action in the mix that definitely had an old gothic Halloween-y feel and vibe. The score definitely reminded me of films from the 20s to 50s. And yeah, overall, I really enjoyed Giacchino's direction here, as well as his musical composition. And one of the things that surprised me the most about this was how bloody and gory it was. People were getting ears bitten off, getting their throats slit, getting their arms chopped off. This did not hold back, so it's great to see a new Marvel Studios project coming straight to something like Disney Plus that isn't really too focused on trying to be something for kids per se. I think this is definitely something that's going to be for an older audience, but I think that some younger kids and teens will still enjoy it. It's not overly gruesome or sexual or anything like that, but it is darker. But if you're a fan of horror, I think there's a lot to enjoy here. Even if you're not a huge fan of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what's great about this special is that it utilizes Marvel elements that are darker to tell the story, including things like Man-Thing, but in no way, shape, or form is this directly connected to the MCU, at least least not yet. It very much is its own story, using some of these darker elements they've yet to use in other Marvel Studios projects. And it's just great to see them have fun with the various different things they have in their source material to make something like this. So that's gonna be my thoughts on Werewolf by Night. Definitely want to hear what you guys have to say. So hit that like button down below if you enjoyed this video, and definitely let me know down below what you guys thought about this special. It's not perfect. There are definitely little things that I wish they would have expanded upon, and there's definitely more that I want from it. But overall, I thought it was well made and entertaining to watch, and yeah, it was a good hour spent. So I'll see you guys in the next one. A big thanks once again, and goodbye.